want any dogs lunging or biting or excessively barking. We want them just to kind of settle and enjoy their time doing their test and going through their training process.
Okay, so I noticed that this lady in front of us was given a slip lead to put on her dog, and she's taken her lead and collar off. So what is the examiner looking for there? Size that we'll be looking at, or what sort of we'll be expecting these dogs to go through?
So today we're going to see some nice loose lead work, and again that's just making sure the dog walks nicely with the handler, isn't too pulley on the lead, making sure that the dog is suitably under control. We've got some gait work as well. Again, the aim of that exercise is making sure that the dog is under control, that the handler can go through the gate before the dog, and the dog can be recalled through the gate in a suitable manner that's nice and controlled. We'll have some recalls going on, and that's the only time the dog will actually be off lead in the bronze test. And we have stays again, which are different to our recalls. The dogs will have to wait in the recall, whereas a stay, the dog must remain in the position that the handler has left it in until the examiner is instructed the handler to return to their dogs.
Okay, so again, I've noticed that on here we were doing the rejoin handler exercise. We said it's the only exercise where the dog comes off lead, but I've also noticed that the dogs don't have to sit and wait, they're actually restrained in this exercise.
So and care are questions that are going to be asked by the examiner to the handler, and we're just looking for the likes of what your dog requires. So things such as, what does your dog need? I nearly gave away some answers, I better not give away some answers there. The handler has to answer 6 questions and get 3 out of the 6 right.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be just general questions. They're not here to choose. Obviously they're given the paperwork with all the answers on them really, but they might ask something that's specific to the breed as well. Now just moving on, I saw there's this gait exercise. So what sort of things are we looking for doing the gait exercises, Sarah?
So again, one of the main components of training your dog in the Good Citizen scheme is that the dog needs to remain in a controlled manner. So as we've seen there, the little collie went through the gate, waited for the owner to command the dog, and the dog returned to the owner through the gate nicely. So we'll just watch this golden retriever here. Again, been asked to sit and wait at the gate, called through by the owner, and sat at the other side in a very nice controlled manner. Now the dogs don't have to actually sit at either side, they can adopt any position, collar and lead. They can have head collars on. This is all changed now, so this is a newish kind of rule in the Kennel Club Good Citizen scheme. They can be on harnesses. Some dogs have to be on a harness for medical reasons, but as long as they're suitable for the test, like we know that happens at the start of the test, as long as it fits the dog correctly and it's not all frayed or slipping off.
Very important people, obviously the examiners, so I'd like you to give a big welcome to Paul Ludlam and Paul Aventum. These are our judges this afternoon.
For the test.
Okay, so it looks like on this side we're going to be doing a little bit of a heel work exercise. So there are 2 parts of a heel work exercise. Could you explain the one that they're doing now? There's no other one involved.
This is the heel work without distractions.
It's on the left or the right?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
As long as the dog is walking alongside the handler, that's fine.
Okay, and what about use of head collars or harnesses for this exercise?
The use of head collars and harnesses is permitted. The judge or the examiner could ask you to remove them just to check that you can control the dog without them, but generally speaking, dogs are allowed to wear head collars and harnesses. If the examiner feels that the head collar or the harness isn't suitable, then they could require a replacement.
So you can see the young lady is obviously looking at putting that extra lead through, like you said. So why can't you just take the lead off?
Because the dog wouldn't be under control and it's not in a confined space.
So there we go, we're going to obviously see this young dog, and what are we expecting the dog to be doing?
Hopefully the dog will be going straight back to the handler. The handler will call the dog when she's told to. The dog should go straight back to the handler, ignoring the other dogs that are there. And then when it gets back to her, she's going to put the lead back on and praise the dog. So she's got hold of the dog there and she's popped her lead back on.
Yes, good.
So the dog is now back under control with the owner.
So again, this is the only time really the dog actually comes off lead, isn't it?
That's
when
right,
they're doing
yes.
this exercise. So
Look at the other dogs. Looking at them is fine, but actually going over and interfering with the other dogs, or indeed sometimes even cowering away and pulling backwards.
Now in this exercise there's also another important part, isn't there? Apart from the heel work part, there's another part of this exercise.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. They have a minute's conversation. And as you can see, while the handlers are standing here, this is exactly what they're doing. The dogs are being sociable, they're not interfering with each other. They're quite happy to be within reasonably close proximity to everybody else without having to jump on each other or jump up at the other handlers. And dogs are all quite relaxed about this.
Yes, and even though they're standing there, they're still under test, aren't they? It's
That's
part
correct,
of the test.
yes.
Okay. Does it matter about the speed that the dog comes in at?
No, as long as the dog goes back to the handler, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, if they come back too fast, the handler's got to brace themselves. But just looking at this Springer.
Yeah, this could be interesting. We could have gone from one extreme to the other here, couldn't we? You see, she's the little spaniel. Look, she's there.
Yay! Oh.
Yeah. It didn't even wait for the line. It was gone. Yeah.
And the fact that it went past the handler and then went back to her, that's fine as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's enthusiastic, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sometimes the dog just can't stop if it's going that fast.
So it's a nice little dog, and then we've got another small dog, a little Jack Russell. She's offering you the lead, Chris, don't take it. Not until it's passed, anyway. He can take away a dog that's got his bronze award. Okay, so again, where you look on this side, they're doing the gait exercise, which we talked about. Let's just do it briefly, because again, some people might have just turned up, so they can see what actually is going on. So, we'll wait for the next dog. We must be coming near the end of the exercises, and
Must be.
And how many exercises are there in the bronze in total?
I think there's 10, is there?
That's correct. And we have a responsibility and care, obviously part of the
questions,
section
yes.
as well, which I think they may have done earlier. I'm not quite sure. Gosh, now that's what you call it.
That's what I call a proper
Now
dog.
that's where you were saying about brace yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah? You got a dog of this size, galloping towards you, brace yourself, okay? Because we don't want to start telling them, no, don't come in.
No, you don't want them not to come. You want them just to go, whoa, steady.
Yeah. So again, two retrievers. Let's see what this one's like. See if there is any comparison.
They look like they know each other.
Yeah, they look like they're...
Oh, apparently they're sisters.
Yeah,
Brother and sister.
enthusiasm. Lots
And
of
the tail
enthusiasm.
wagging because they're pleased to be back with the owner.
Every one of these dogs so far I've seen, none of them have been a little bit wary of what's going on around them.
No,
They've all
they've
seemed
all been fantastic.
quite close.
I can't get to them. There's no undue growling or barking or anything else that might throw some concerns up. Doing it in a figure of 8 like this gives everybody an equal chance to go round.
And also, because we mentioned the minute conversation, so they could be actually doing the minute conversation between them. So, you know, the two handlers. So it also speeds things up a little bit, doesn't it?
It takes a minute out of the time for every handler. So if you've got 10 handlers, doing it this way shortens the test by 10 minutes.
There we go.
Abby said that was perfect.
We got
yes.
perfect. So who's going to argue with Abby?
But once they've put the dog in that position, they have to remain in that position.
If they change positions?
No, once they're in that position, they have to, once the test has started, they have to stay.
Okay, we're going to leave them now. So we're just preparing our dogs for the stay exercise. And we're just moving 5 paces away from the dogs. Lead to left on. And we're going to stay in the position that we've been put in. Maybe just making sure everyone's happy and confident in what they're doing. We've got some prayers going on. And the end of exercise has been called, so there we go. Yes, I think they all deserve a big round of applause for that. Seeing those dogs just laying down, then the ground at the top there, laying down, nice and calm. So all we've got to do now is see what the results are going to be. And we have another pass going to Eliza and Atasha Lewis. Very good. Youngest member.